Good evening and welcome to the September 6, 2016 regular session school committee meeting, and I will call the meeting to order. It is 6:30. I'm sorry, 7 o'clock. This meeting is being both audio and videotaped by LCAT. Is anyone else doing either? Seeing none, okay, let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call starting to my left.
Yemi Thomas.
Gregory Thompson.
Deirdre Mayu.
Rich Ficero.
Bill Fonseca.
Gordon Smith, Superintendent of Schools.
Elizabeth Marcin Boucher.
Valerie Anier, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction.
Pamela Blair, Assistant Superintendent for Business. Kathy Saletti, Recording Secretary.
Okay. Moving along, we have no minutes to approve tonight. Item 3, committee and subcommittee communications. Yemi, do you have anything?
No, not currently.
Okay. Greg?
I'm all set as well, thank you.
I'm good too.
Rich?
I just want to say, from the residents of East Long Meadow to the Bay State Emergency Room to the stores in town, I've heard nothing but wonderful compliments about our playgrounds.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah,
nice to
true.
feel that. We're going to do something to honor the community
Yeah.
preservation at some point. So I was very, very positive
We do
comments.
a grand opening, we're just awaiting on the final touch, which is a sign that will be a permanent part of the playground. It'll say, "Welcome to Mountain View Playground," or "Welcome to Meadowbrook Playground," and then it'll say, "Project completed with community preservation funds."
And I do want to say that I thought convocation was extremely very effective.
Right.
Beth?
Hi, eLeaf is having their golfing event on September 19th. I think it's at lunches at 12 and shotgun start is at 1. So please look online to get all the information on that. I believe it's $135 a person, but then there's also sponsorships. And also, we got some notification that this past Saturday, our boys' preseason soccer jamboree, the East Long Meadow team and the EL Soccer Boosters presented a check for $650 toward the Connor McCormick Fund, and he's a young man that got paralyzed jumping in the pool the wrong way. So I think that was wonderful that they did that for him, and he's from West Springfield. Yeah.
You know, that date is a school committee meeting.
It is,
I
I
know.
know,
Okay.
but,
Nothing we can do about
No.
it.
yeah.
Okay, and just to piggyback on what Rich said, convocation was great. We got off to a great start this year, in spite of a little hiccup at Maple Shade, but everything is up and running fine now. Okay, moving along to item 4, opportunity for visitors to address the committee. Seeing none, we will move right along. We have no superintendent's presentation or assistant superintendent for business reports. We will move right down to item 7, new business. Item 7.1, the approval of the Meadowbrook kindergarten field trip to Pell Farm.
Okay, in your packet, you have actually a few different documents that give you more information about this trip. It's the annual kindergarten trip. At the end of their science unit, they like to travel to Pell Farm, and they get to see some of the things that they were studying be brought to life, so to speak. And it'll be all our kindergarten classrooms. You have 8 classrooms. It's roughly $750 per student, as Mrs. Dakin outlines in her letter. There are about 165 students, 2 staff members from every classroom, and then you'll have parent chaperones as well.
Am I adding this right? There's at least 56 adults chaperoning that trip? Oh,
5 or more.
classroom times 2 times
Right.
5?
Yeah,
Wow.
5 or more might be strong, but they get a ton
Oh,
of
that's great,
volunteers.
though.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing
That's
is,
fantastic.
the moms want to do it.
Do
Well,
they
yeah.
really?
It's
Yeah.
their first, you know.
This is the
Yeah.
first one, so,
Okay.
plus they're not all going at the same
Yeah,
time.
no.
This
It's
is
like
not
a
the
fight.
same
Oh, I thought it was
date.
all the same day.
I think
No, I
it's rolling
think
dates.
they actually,
Are they?
initially I thought they were going to do rolling dates.
I thought there was rolling dates.
Are going to look for Tuesday, October 4th.
Oh, okay.
So it's all the
Wow,
same
that's-
date.
Oh, wow, because I thought it was rolling dates, but that's fine.
All hands on deck.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Okay,
So I'll make a motion to approve the Meadowbrook kindergarten field trip to Pell Farms on October 4th.
I'll second.
any further discussion on that?
Just make sure it's 2016.
Ah,
That's
yes.
Oh, yeah,
The letter,
in the letter,
Okay.
in the first paragraph.
yeah.
This letter.
Oh, yeah.
From
That
Lisa.
one, From Lisa,
Yeah.
got it, thank you.
Okay.
The letter outlining the trip says 2016.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving along to item 7.2, DPW recommendation for pruning trees.
Okay, so this shows up better on your computers, a
yeah,
little bit in
that's
terms of
good.
the graphic, less so if it is in the print version. So the trees that are outlined within that graphic that Bob Parent, Superintendent of DPW, sent us, those are fruit trees that are in dire need of a lot of pruning. And as you saw in the email that was included in your packet, one of the possibilities is that as they prune them, they may get to the point where they just have to take them down. So they were looking for school committee's approval to start the pruning and possibly the actual removal.
Is it the green squiggly line?
Yes.
Yes. There's 5 trees in there.
Right.
What do you think, Mr. Todd? This is right your alley.
No, I looked it up today. Deirdre called me.
I looked at them first,
Yeah,
and I
go
called.
ahead. You speak first.
No, I took a drive over to them the other day too, and I looked at them, and it's, you know, in this picture, you're not seeing them during like a spring or summer season.
Right.
This looks like it was taken in different, so if you see them with the leaves, you can see there are branches that are without any leaves on them, lots of dead areas in these trees, and not just one or two, I think like all of them. And so I called Greg to have him take a look at it also, and you agree with me, and I think some of these trees may just end up coming down. And part of the issue is they're the crabapple trees, which then fall, all the fruit, and the kids toss them at each other, you get lots of bees. So
The
I'm
bees
almost
tend
apt
to
to
be
have them,
the
is
biggest
there a
problem.
way to have them
Yeah.
just taken down and maybe replace them?
Yeah, well, how, is it gonna be an eyesore without, I mean, it's an eyesore now.
Well, it's gonna change.
It's gonna
for
change.
sure.
Change the landscape,
Yeah,
certainly.
and the thing with these fruit trees especially is to prune them often, and they probably haven't been pruned in 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, I think potentially out of the 5, if I was going to look at it, if you wanted my opinion, I'd keep 2 of them, if not for the fruit and the bees and such. I think the one in the far corner is okay, and I think the one next to it is decent too. They probably flower nice, they probably add some shade in the summer.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
They're very crowded in there, so, I mean, I would certainly be in favor of taking the 3 most dead out and potentially trying to save a couple of them, but,
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could leave it up to DPW to some extent. I mean, I guess it would be easiest for them to just hack them down and take them away,
Right.
then prune.
If we can salvage those.
But if we want to make an effort to save 2, I think 2 of them are pretty good. But again, going back to the mess and the distraction of
Yeah.
the fruit and the bees, I mean, you could take them all down too, but.
Could they possibly take down the ones that are bad, try to leave a couple up, but replace with a
That's what I would like to see.
non-fruit-bearing something? And then in a couple of years, once those have taken and they're doing good, the other 2, when they need a good pruning, maybe at that, just so that it's not completely barren, because it does provide a park-like kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
setting.
Yeah.
It really does, it's
Absolutely.
nice,
Yeah.
nice shade in there.
Yeah,
You know, take down the bad ones, keep a couple good ones, then in a couple
Right.
years, we can,
and they're
Even
not
if they
trees
left
that get
that one-
very big,
yeah.
you know, they do kind of stay short.
Yeah, that's,
Well,
they're
these-
probably
yeah.
40 years, 50
Yeah.
years
Right.
old. But even if they left the one on the corner as a, you know, an ornamental tree, it's closer to the parking lot anyway, so I don't know how far the kids go that way. So, I don't know, I mean, I'm never in favor of clear cutting
No.
everything. There's those 2 big trees in there, that probably need some work as well. There's some deadwood and that maple specifically in the center. So if they're gonna be in there, they should probably get up and do that.
That would be my recommendation too, that I had him also go look at that, because I looked at those, they were maple trees?
The one in the middle is a
Yeah.
maple,
Yeah.
the one in the corner is like a birch or something, it's a silver birch.
Yeah, so it's that center maple that I found too, that in the middle part of it too had a
Yeah.
lot of dead.
It has woodpeckers already, that's not a good sign. Or it is a good sign.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
The woodpeckers, it's good.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, up to the board, but, you know, if they could save 1 or 2, they could be nice trees if with a little bit of pruning, you know, so I'm sure they flower nicely in the spring. And then
They
they
do,
make
I've
a
got
mess
one in
for
my
the rest of the
backyard.
year,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
Right, but it would be nice though, I'd like to see replacement trees if we are taking down the ones that are maybe beyond
Sure.
repair. I would definitely love to see other trees go.
I think replacement, I mean, they'll certainly plant it for us. I don't
Yeah.
know that they have the budget to do the
Purchase
replacement,
it.
so we would have to purchase.
Well,
Other programs.
So why don't we, I mean, you know, maybe we leave just that one on the corner, furthest away from the area, as a decorative tree and take the other 4. Or save 2 or none, I mean,
Well, you could make a motion to try to save the 2 that you originally mentioned.
yeah.
Take down the 3 that are most troublesome and see what they can do to save those 2, the one in the far corner and then the one next to it.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'll look at what we
Have them
can do to
update
replace
us,
them.
yeah, update us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they may only, you know, may only need another replacement, especially if you plant another maple or something.
Depending on what you plant in there.
Yeah,
Right.
So we'll go
you
with
get a
that.
sugar maple in there, you don't wanna get, those 2 in there are pretty big.
They're
I'm
very
sure they don't
large.
love fall cleanups in that corner, cause
Right.
I'm sure they have leaves.
Collective
Yeah.
area,
Yeah.
little whirlpool effect.
All right, you wanna make the motion?
Sure, I move that we recommend to the Department of Public Works to attempt to save 2 of the 5 dogwoods, specifically the 2 in best shape.
Crap.
I'm sorry, crab apples.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Could we also ask though, while they're there, cutting trees, that they look at that maple specifically?
Mhm.
They
I
probably
looked at
already
that.
saw it, I would imagine anyway, because it looks sparse going up to it. But
Yeah.
there's some certainly dead wood in the middle.
Okay,
uh,
so maple and the silver birch was what I had written
Right.
down.
Yeah, the maple in the center, it's like gigantic maple.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of it is a dead leader going right up the center of it with holes in it,
Okay.
the woodpeckers.
Okay?
Okay.
Got all that?
Becoming quite the outdoor classroom, they have fruit.
I know, I did.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, I mean, that's
And
why
you
I
don't
say,
wanna
you don't
take
wanna
away
clear
nature.
cut it all. When I
No.
first saw it, when Deirdre called me, I hadn't looked at the specifics yet, and I thought they wanted to take everything out of it.
No.
No.
I get it, because maintenance wise, boy, it's a lot easier, but I bet those big trees offer a lot of shade in the afternoon in the summer.
Well, I'm
It's on
sure
the
they
west
do too,
side of
yeah.
the building,
Yeah.
yeah, so, cool.
Okay. Moving along to item 7.3, establishing a revolving account for staff laptop maintenance and repairs.
Okay, in your packet, you have a draft that was put together with the help of President of the ELEA and our IT director. And basically what this is proposing is that we establish a program to help cover the costs of maintaining the staff laptops. So actually, the staff actually has probably smaller ones that are newer than this one. What we found, we've been using them, we're going into our 3rd year of using these, and the first year went really well. Last year, there seemed to be many more accidents around liquid being knocked into keyboards, or drops, or whatever it might be. And so costs to repair laptops went, say, in the first year, somewhere within the $1,000 to $2,000 range to close to $20,000 last year. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Well, because some were not able to be repaired, so now you're replacing.
Replacing.
And that's certainly not something that we have budgeted for, nor has IT budgeted for that much. So this would be somewhat of a self-insurance or self-funded repair program that all licensed staff would pay into. The ELEA has volunteered to cover their membership, and then the administrators each would pay $10 as well. And then if you have a situation with your laptop that is going to involve somewhat of a costly repair, at that moment you have what we're calling a $50 deductible. But you don't have to bear the entire cost, which could be up to anywhere between, say, $100 to $1,000.
So if it was $20,000 last year, I don't know how, this isn't gonna cover $20,000.
No.
Is this supposed to be a deterrent? Is that what we're thinking? This will deter
It's
a lot?
supposed to be, yeah, that with the maintenance that we did at the end of the last school year. We've developed better procedures as laptops were turned back after being maintained. All the laptops received a silicone cover on the keyboard.
Right, we already purchased that.
So we did that for them last year, and the hope is that people are taking better care of them so that we come down from the 20 back towards, let's say, the 1 to 2,000.
And it says that ELEA will pay the 10 for the
For their membership.
But I think it's at existing, so does that mean new employees will have to pay their way going?
No, I think anybody
Go
who's,
to it,
yeah.
go for it.
250 is actually a estimate, and it's probably high,
That's high.
yeah.
And the $50, so someone breaks a computer, they'll have to write a check for $50 to get it back?
Right, to the East Long Meadow Public Schools.
If they're
building
found to
revolving,
be,
yeah.
it's their fault, if it's their fault.
Right.
If it's
Yeah.
their fault. And IT will determine fault?
Actually, bullet point 2 talks about a joint
Yeah.
committee, so we would have two
right.
central office administrators, IT director, and then 3 ELEA officers to look at what might be a situation where we're trying to determine fault or
Oh,
cause,
really?
that kind of thing, yeah.
Oh.
Just to make sure we're
So
managing.
majority rule?
Yeah, basically majority.
Well, there's no staff discipline involved. Should there be a school committee member on that? Because you have 6 people.
Mhm.
I don't know whether, I mean, I'm just asking, I mentioned it to Ryan, he thought.
Yeah, but if we did it, I mean, how many computers was it last year?
There was very, very few, so I was
okay.
just gonna stress, it was only a couple, but there was a couple, and
Yeah.
there was some, negligence there, and we really need to hone in on that and take care of it.
Is this what other school programs do?
We did look at other school programs. A lot of what you see here, we saw in the Suffield Public Schools, because they were redoing all their policies around this.
It's very common
Yeah.
in other districts, yeah. So this is per Mass General Law, Chapter 71, Section 71E, to establish a revolving account, so it needs school committee's approval, and then I'll work with Sarah Menard, our town accountant, to get that set up, and then all the funds will come through the central office here, and be deposited with the treasurer, like the other funds are. And then the expenses will come right from that account as well.
How many folks are left out of the 250 certified licensed staff that,
In terms of licensed staff,
no, in terms of people with computers that aren't covered by EMEA?
it covers everybody.
Except
the administrators.
Except the
administrators.
administrators.
Right.
Administrators would pay into it, and so
Well,
it would
would
be
it
above
be-
2,500.
Would it be appropriate for us to pay for the administrators instead? I think it's kind of silly to ask for a $10 check from every administrator, or is that not appropriate?
Well, technically, the money that's being donated, not donated, or paid by the ELEA, that's separate money, it's coming from their dues. So in
Dues.
essence, they are paying
I see.
themselves.
I mean, I would, yeah, okay. I wouldn't have asked anybody to pay the 10 myself.
The administrators, once they realized, because initially, there was some discussion of this and thinking, oh, I don't want to pay $10. However, the $50 deductible plus the 10, it could be well below what might be needed to repair something that truly was an accident.
Right.
And so the other option is, okay, you don't have to pay into that, but then you're bearing all the cost.
So maybe there's a little more ownership too, a little bit
Right.
more careful.
Right.
And this is going to be looked at after the first year here,
Right.
because it is kind of a pilot program,
Yeah,
doing the
right.
best we can with the information we have. So it will be evaluated again and discussed.
Does anybody feel school committee members should be part of that group? I'm just throwing it out there.
And we
It's a
certainly
pilot
can-
program, it's a pilot program, we can say, absolutely like this, okay, I will.
I don't know, like, maybe if they felt it was needed, I mean, do you?
I don't know,
But I don't
it seems day-to-day operation to me.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
yeah,
that's
all right.
exactly it.
That's fine, okay, fine.
I mean, I'm on a computer every day.
I think,
It's my home
I
computer.
think
not-
if we find there's problems and disputes and
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not working,
Aren't being
right,
settled?
then yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would say, yeah, for now, be right now.
So I'll make a motion to establish a revolving account for staff, laptop maintenance and repairs.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
moving along to item 7.4, the appointment of a school committee rep for town council election work group. Town council is establishing a working group to continue the discussion about where to hold town elections.
Right. So after our discussion at our last meeting, I went back and shared the highlights, so to speak, of our discussion with Tom Florence, town clerk, and Denise Menard, the acting town manager. And so they then filled in the town council at the meeting that very night. And so I think there is agreement, unanimous agreement to continue the discussion, but not necessarily make a decision today, tomorrow, next week. But let's look at all possibilities and hopefully come up with a good transition plan for the elections that resolve some of the issues that the residents around Birchland brought up, but also doesn't necessarily create new challenges that could cause issues down the road.
Who's gonna be on this committee?
So we're looking, in terms of
The
department
rest
heads?
of it.
You would have police chief, town clerk, town manager, me, and probably because the original petition didn't just talk about elections, also talked about rec sports. So I would think the rec director as well.
I think a member of the town council's on there too.
Right, town council, thank you, has put a liaison as well. I believe it's Kathy Hill.
And everyone's a voting member? Or everyone? So the committee comes up with a recommendation, so it'll be a group that gets together and they'll vote on a recommendation.
And then the
They'll still have to
recommendation
come here.
still has to come here.
It'll be
Yes.
subject to the approval of this committee
Right.
as to where it's actually finally held.
My guess
If
is
at
it's
the
probably
school.
gonna be
If it was in a
presented-
school, if it was in a school.
Right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, I would imagine the plan would be presented to both groups, town council and school committee, but I think there was unanimous agreement when I was talking with Tom Florence, town clerk, and Denise Menard, town manager, that the school committee has authority, ultimately statutory authority over what goes on in the schools.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
You had asked that question at the
Yeah,
last meeting.
good. No, and I think that, I agree with that.
And they're not gonna have any residents on this committee?
The residents submitted the petition, but I think from what I've understood, no. Because it's up to the town departments to figure out where the elections are held. The residents have presented the petition saying, can you look at it, or we're concerned about traffic.
So they can give input at a town council meeting?
Sure, if they, or this
Or me or
committee.
this committee, probably. It'll be a posted meeting.
It'll be a
Right.
posted meeting, or this committee could also have a public hearing.
Right.
So they have those powers under the charter.
Mm-hmm.
So the people will have a chance to voice their opinions.
I don't know that it will be a posted meeting, because you only have one.
Right.
Member
I
from
assume
each
that's
group.
what I thought,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they
But
will,
certainly
there should be
could-
some outreach. so-
they
Right,
could,
there
they
should be
could
outreach.
exactly, they could have, under the charter, because this group is being formed, they could have a public hearing to
Right.
solicit input. So, all right.
All right, anyone have an interest?
Who wants it?
Who wants it?
Rich?
I'd be
You
interested.
want-
Work
You're
there.
interested? Okay,
I'm good with that. They don't wanna hear what I have to say, so.
It's not true.
Well, they might, I'll talk to Rich and, you know.
I would request an alternative.
I was just gonna say,
So,
I could alternate it
okay,
if needed.
good.
do we have a motion?
yep, I'll make a motion that we appoint Rich Ficero as the school committee rep for the town council election work group, and Gregory Thompson as the alternate.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Just that I'm glad that they're including us in this discussion.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And to the same point, that Bob Parent reached out to us, I know it was a separate topic, but if you could express that we're thankful that they
Yeah.
reached out about the trees as well.
Sure,
while I'm thinking about it.
absolutely.
Okay,
It's good that we're all working together on this stuff, so.
okay. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you to our LCAT rep, Jake, and welcome back. Thank you to our student rep, Yemi Thomas. Good to have you join us tonight. Nothing else comes before the committee?
May I just remind the committee, if
Sure.
you want to look at important dates down below, some are happening this week, just for your information. Our open houses will begin this week, so you have the high school and Maple Shade. Then you have the e-cycling, as well as, that's on Saturday, and then you have open houses next week. And you can read the rest of the list, but just wanted to let you know about the open houses.
It's coming up quick, all of it. Not ready.
If nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
I'm opposed.
You want to say it?
That's still on.